Hello and welcome to my review of Going the Distance, a romantic comedy starring real-life couple Drew Barrymore and Justin Long. This movie centers on a couple played by Justin Long and Drew Barrymore who have just met and have really started to hit it off. That is until Drew Barrymore throws his curveball at him that she's actually only in New York, which is where the beginning of the film takes place, for about 6 weeks because she's going to graduate school in San Francisco. So they decide after 6 weeks of incredible romance to have a long-distance relationship. And the games begin. This movie seemed kind of interesting to me because I've known couples that have been in long-distance relationships because they've met, like from my teenage point of view, they've met over summers, like at camps and whatnot, and they've like really fallen for each other and they've had to do these long-distance relationships. So, I was kind of interested to see how this movie would portray it. I realize that I'm a teenager, and as adults it's more complicated, but even so, I thought this would be an interesting one. Also, I've heard good things about the script, and I'm a big fan of the main players in the cast. So let's see how this turned out. Let's start out with the most important thing in a romantic comedy movie, which is your couple. And in this film, Justin Long and Drew Barrymore are very good. They've been a couple in real life, and it really shows. They have a nice chemistry. There's some good back and forth between them, and you really feel like they're in love, and they're not just acting like they're in love. Also, there's some nice supporting players. Jason Sudeikis is always hilarious. And there's this guy who I'm not sure of his name, but he plays Justin Long's roommate. I believe his name is Andy Diggle. He's hilarious. He's kind of got a Zach Galifianakis type of humor going on, but he was really funny in this film. I'm sure you've seen the trailer where that DJ your hookup scene, and there's a lot of really funny comedic moments with him like that. And also Christina Applegate is really funny in the film as well. This movie also manages to be pretty funny. There's some really good dialogue between the characters, some nice snappy dialogue, and it's not, the comedic set pieces in here aren't as funny as the dialogue, which is, I find in a lot of these romantic type movies, but the set pieces are still pretty funny. This movie really is at its best when 2 to 3 characters are just sitting talking to one another. And then there's the main thing with this movie, which is how does it handle the long-distance relationship? And for the most part in this movie, it was actually handled pretty well. It wasn't too sappy. They actually felt like real characters. There was a lot of, it felt very genuine. They did a really great job here of portraying how when you're missing this person, it almost drives you mad in a way. I really only have one real big issue with this movie, and that is, this movie has a spot where it feels really dramatically right where it could end. There's a great zoom out shot, you feel perfect about it, you're like, okay, this is how this relationship would actually resolve itself, and it feels very realistic. But then it seems almost as if the studio requested the filmmakers to put an extra 20 minutes in, and it kind of goes down to a very contrived romantic ending that just feels very convenient. And I think if the movie had ended 20 minutes earlier on this one shot that I don't really want to spoil, it could have even boosted up a little bit higher than what I'm actually going to give it. But it kind of goes down a contrivance road toward the end, but it doesn't hurt the movie too much. Overall, Going the Distance is a funny and insightful romantic comedy with some very earnest performances. It peters out a bit at the end, but it certainly doesn't hurt too much, and you should definitely go out and check this out. 3 stars out of 4 for Going the Distance.